Well, hello there, Catherine Langman here with you on the Productpreneur Success Podcast. Welcome to the show if you are a new listener, and of course, welcome back to your long-time listeners. It's always fantastic to have you here. Now, I'm recording this at the end of May, and we are approaching the end of the financial year, believe it or not. And so at this time of the year, you might be considering running a clearance sale or a flash sale or a stock take sale or an end of financial year sale. However you label it yourself, many of us Aussies affectionately call it an EOFYS, of course. There is the temptation to do such an event at this time of the year. Certainly something that I advocate for, and it can be really helpful to reduce how much stock you need to be counting during your stock take for tax purposes, and of course getting a few extra sales and revenue over the line at this time of the year, and of course before having to pay the tax man. So also, I think this year 2022, I think many consumers are actually holding off making non-urgent purchases until these end of financial year sales start rolling out, because so many of us are having to pull our belts in just a little bit in terms of personal spending. So if you have been weathering a little bit of a period of slow sales revenue, I really would be encouraging you to run one at this time of the year, this year in particular, because I think that you will find it'll be quite successful. Now, even though your profit margins rather are going to be lower during any kind of discount sale, there are many benefits to running an end of financial year sale aside from that kind of expected increase in revenue. You can start to sell off any of the old season stock or inventory hanging around from last season. You can sell off slow selling lines, or you might have odd sizes or less popular sizes or styles, or just odds and ends. You might have just a few things that are not the most popular sizes or styles hanging around, so you can clear off those at this time of the year. You can also encourage new customers to trial your products for the first time, particularly by retargeting people who may have visited specific product pages in your online store, for instance, or that might have been, on your email list for a little while but haven't gotten over the line yet. You can also reward your existing loyal customers, or try and re-engage with lapsed customers who haven't bought from you in a little while. So in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the common pitfalls and mistakes that people make with running an end of financial year sale, and of course, best practices for getting the best results from your EOFYS. So it's kind of a bit of a tongue twister saying end of financial year sale all the time. It's quite a lot of words to get out. So what are the pitfalls of running this sort of a promotional event? And really the number one pitfall that I see with e-commerce store owners running flash sales is that they run them too frequently, which might not be where you thought I would start with today's episode. But the outcome of doing too frequent deep discounts is that you really do train customers not to shop with you at full price. They learn to wait because they know another discount will be just around the corner. And the other outcome of this is that you lower your profitability. You lower your profit margins because they're on sale, and yet they still cost you the same to make or to buy in. And if you are offering frequent discounts, of course, this will end up impacting your bottom line. And additionally, by running a deep discount sales strategy too often, you also run the risk of attracting people who are just discount hungry and not necessarily your ideal customer, right? Now, discount customers are one of 4 common buyer types that we will all have within our audience anyway. So the others being your I want what's new buyer, the people who want to be ahead of the Joneses, not keeping up with the Joneses. You'll have your high average order value buyer, and you'll also have your lapsed customer. So we always want to have some promotions throughout the year that are going to appeal to those different buyers. But I guess because the discount customer is a common buyer profile, and because most of us will usually have times when we need to clear off old stock or odds and ends, or just want to get a few people over the line to try our gear, it is worth catering to this customer type occasionally. I just don't want you to make it 100% of your marketing plan, which I think is a consideration that many small business owners just don't think about, but I do see it happen quite a lot. So you always need to really try and make sure you're targeting the right audience and you build in a plan to on-sell full price products to these customers if you're getting them over the line the first time with a discount. Now, there's also a difference between a discount and a deep discount. So by deep discounting, I'm talking about like, 40, 50% off. So that is obviously going to be eating into your margins. All right, so those are the pitfalls. I don't want you to think that I'm against the strategy of running an end of financial year sale at all, though. But I guess if you've already run a clearance sale 6 or 7 or 8 times over the 12-month period, maybe you want to rethink your marketing strategy moving forward. All right, so let's move on to the common mistakes. And there are 5 common mistakes that I see with clearance sales quite frequently. So let's make sure that you are prepared for these and try not to make these yourself. And the first is slow or delayed shipping, which of course is a bit fraught right now anyway, because our shipping in Australia is kind of slow and delayed anyway, thanks to all of the COVID impacts that we've all been dealing with. But what I guess what I'm talking about here is don't sell pre-orders with a long lead time during a flash sale or an end of financial year clearance sale. This can absolutely be a temptation if you are in a position where you're trying to raise some capital to fund things like big stock purchases or, tax bills that you've got coming. But during a very busy end of financial year promotion period, it's not the time to run that sort of pre-order promotion that is going to extend the delivery timeframe, right? Second common mistake is not having enough stock. So really here I'm talking about, like obviously if you're trying to sell off odds and ends and last bits and pieces from, last season or whatever, there's not going to be a lot of stock. And so I'm not talking about that, but I guess what I'm talking about is don't promote your most popular products as the incentive for your clearance sale, especially if you know that you only have a couple of those items left. Your most popular products are more likely to keep selling at full price after a promotion like this ends. So you really don't want to shoot yourself in the foot by leaving yourself, nothing to sell after the EOFYS ends. EOFYS being end of financial year sale, if you are not an Aussie, and I haven't said that enough. Okay, third mistake that can happen is your website crashing. So this is if you are expecting a really large influx of website traffic during your sale period. You really need to make sure that you have the bandwidth to cope with that. Although I have to say, this doesn't really happen with platforms like Shopify because they are super well equipped and set up to handle big fluctuations in traffic volumes. So if you're on this favorite platform of ours, you will be absolutely golden. But if you have separate hosting plans because you're on a platform like WordPress, then definitely go and make sure that you are not going to crash when you have a whole heap of customers hitting your site at once. Fourth common mistake is not doing enough marketing, both paid and organic, and actually underperforming in the promotion. So we are going to talk about some of the reasons that people end up in this situation a little later on in the episode. But this is a super common thing that I see a lot, particularly with smaller businesses, and it really hurts their results. The fifth common mistake is not running the end of financial year sale at the expected time of the year. And, so if you are running it later with the expectation that, you might have cheaper advertising and less competition in the marketplace, and therefore, hoping that those things will help you get better, more profitable results. It's actually counterintuitive because with this particular kind of sale, customers are out shopping when they know these sales will be on, and they are, they're preparing to go shopping and spend money in that period of time. It's a little bit like the Black Friday to Cyber Monday weekend. People know that there's going to be a lot of promotions on and deals available and incentives to take advantage of, and so they go out and spend their money during that period of time. So if you leave this promotion till later, you absolutely do run the risk that your customers have spent their money elsewhere. So what are the best practices for running this sort of promotion? After all of the pitfalls and the mistakes, how can you still have success with this kind of a promotion? And, the good news is if you do it well, you will gain new revenue and new customers in the short and long term. And so here's how you go about it. And the first thing that you need to do is to really decide on your objectives. So you want to think about whether you're going to be targeting existing customers or attracting new customers, or a mix of both. So when you're trying to target your existing customers, you really want to be promoting your sale as much as humanly possible to your database. So using email marketing and SMS marketing, and also doing things like retargeting to all of your warmer audiences on your social media ads. And ideally, you would segment your email list into lapsed customers, so those who haven't bought in a while, loyal customers, so your repeat customers, they're your besties, and those on your list who have never bought before, and then tailor the messaging of the sale to suit each of those groups. So if you're targeting a new audience, so you're going out to cold traffic ads, you don't really, you're going to use slightly different messaging in that kind of marketing than you would to people who already know you exist. So, you really want to think about that and how you might go about introducing your brand to a cold audience, a new audience in that sort of advertising, and really making sure that the messaging is right. So yes, you are running a sale, but you don't just go, hey, person who doesn't know I exist, buy my widget, it's 50% off now. They don't know who you are. They don't know anything about your brand. They don't know anything about, the benefits of your brand or your products and why they would love them. They don't, you've got to kind of follow through that whole buyer journey still if you're going out to a cold audience. So you can absolutely still have great success going to cold audiences with this sort of a promotion, so long as you marry up that messaging for sure. And you can use things like your interest-based targeting and your lookalike audiences, particularly if you're doing a lookalike to people who've purchased from you before, and you can have quite good success with that. Now, at this goal setting and objective setting stage, you also want to try and decide on some revenue targets for this promotion. So I actually have a promotional planning training bundle that helps you to figure out that sort of stuff, as well as the marketing requirements to help you achieve those goals. So if you haven't got your hands on that in the past and you're interested in checking it out, it's quite a, it's not a long, big program. It's just a really short training bundle or short course. So I'll link to it in the podcast show notes, or you can, of course, head to productpreneuracademy.com/short courses and look for the product launch and promotional campaign planning bundle. All right, so the second step that you really want to think about is, what products are you selling in the sale? Now, you don't have to put everything on sale, right? You might choose to sell off your end of season stock or last season stock, or the odd sizes or styles that you have in your popular lines, or you might still choose to put your entire range on sale. It is entirely up to you here, right? And you can start with one, and if that's not really gaining as much traction as you would really like, you could add the whole range in then, right? You can also put discount bundles together to try and increase that average order value and really appeal to that subset of your customers who are likely to be the higher average order value buyer types. But I don't advise launching a new range or putting brand new products on sale during this kind of a clearance, because this will result really in a bit of a cheapening of your brand, and definitely lending towards training customers to wait for a sale before they buy anything. If you do have new stuff and you want to list it at this time of the year, which is an entirely feasible thing to do because you will be getting more traffic to your website, then leave it for the I want what's new type of buyer to buy at full price. It's a little bit like when you go, I know anytime if you go clothes shopping in some of the bigger retailers at the end of financial year clearance sale time of year, you will find all of the clearance sale stock on one rack, and then you'll find all of the new season stock on another rack, and that's not discounted. So, there is that kind of consumer expectation that would be the case. The third thing that you want to think about is to choose your incentive. So usually at this kind of a promotion, this time of year, a flat discount is going to work best for an end of financial year sale. And this is because it is the simplest to offer, and you can set it up on your website to run without needing a coupon code. And that's essentially going to reduce the friction to purchase and also help you, ultimately increase your sales conversions. Now, typically with incentives, the more steps people have to go through to get the deal, such as, spend this much to qualify and then use this coupon code to get the discount, it can become a little bit confusing for some people to know what they need to do. And I guess, if customers can't easily figure it out, then you run the risk of losing those buyers in the process. So, for this time of year, when there are lots of other brands and retailers as well running this kind of a sale, you just want to make it as easy and smooth as possible to get people through the checkout. Sometimes it can pay to layer incentives. So if you really want to go hard and convert as many as possible, you might consider giving a free shipping coupon, perhaps just to your most loyal customers and engaged subscribers, right? So they can have a little bit of an extra benefit as a reward for being a loyal customer. All right, the fourth thing that we need to really consider in our plan for this kind of promotion is when, where, and how will you sell it? So really thinking through the whole marketing mix here. So this sort of promotion really should not be run in a, I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants fashion. That's just not going to give you the best result, right? So you really want to make sure that you set your clearance sale start and end dates before you begin. So you have you have that expectation, and you can also communicate that with your audience, right? And that when you are going to start rolling out the marketing and when you need to finish that marketing. And I guess shortly before it finishes, you can run the the FOMO type messaging out to your audience. If you are only offering the sale to an exclusive audience, such as your subscriber list, then you might need to set up coupon codes required to redeem the offer on your website, because obviously, if that's the way you want to approach it, then it should not be available for absolutely anybody coming to your website. Now, if you are promoting the sale to everyone, which at this time of the year I would do, then obviously just use the sale pricing function on your website. This can be a really great conversion tactic to show your full, recommended retail price crossed out and then a nice discount price next to it. Even better if you can say saves X dollars, unless it's like save 53 cents, you don't want that. But if it's a significant saving, then, that helps customers to realize how good of a deal it is and how much value it is. So you've got your start and end dates, you know what you're going to be promoting and how it's going to function on your website. Then you want to prepare all of the marketing. So I definitely advise that you schedule your emails and also your paid ads. So schedule them in advance. All right. So I always like to include a minimum of 3 emails in a week in this kind of promotion. And also resending emails to non-opens, potentially on a different day and time. So the follow-up emails do tend to convert way more orders than standalone email can produce. So, don't be a nervous Nelly at this time of the year thinking that you'll be bothering your subscribers by sending more than 1 email in a week. I guess if you take that approach and you really are too tentative, then you will only lose out to your competitors whose emails are at the top of the inbox at the right time. So don't be that person, all right? I like to send out emails to the most engaged subscribers and loyal customers first to give them, I guess, the VIP treatment here. So they get first access to the promotion. And this can be perceived really positively by customers. It means you're giving them a reward for having been a loyal subscriber and a loyal customer. And also, I guess, as consumers, we know that the most popular sizes and styles tend to sell out pretty quickly. And so by giving your loyalty group that early access, that generally goes down well. This is also the time of year and type of promotion to use SMS marketing if you can. So SMS marketing, it's not something that you would use with every single email that you send out to your audience every week. That would pretty much be really annoying to the receivers. But if used judiciously, SMS marketing is a medium that enjoys way higher open rates, click-through and conversion rates. And again, I would be going out to your most loyal, your most engaged subscribers and loyal customers first with your SMS, maybe sending one at the beginning to give them that, first dibs, early access, and then perhaps one at the end of the promotion as well, which you could potentially send to everyone on your subscriber list if you have them to send SMSs to. And that's really that kind of FOMO, the scarcity sort of messaging, right? Now, with your Facebook and Instagram ads, you want to run this promotion. Now, if you're targeting cold audience here, so you want to run the promotion at the top of the funnel as well as the middle of funnel. And that means, of course, cold audiences and warm audiences. You want to try and take the learnings from your previous best performing audiences and ad creatives so that you can give yourself the best chance of hitting the mark with these ads straight out of the gate. Now, I typically don't exclude past buyers from the middle of funnel in this sort of a campaign, because this is the kind of promotion that customers are likely to come back and buy again, even if they've bought relatively recently. Now, you definitely want to schedule ads in advance to basically make sure that the ads pass the review and approval process on the platform on time, and you don't miss out on any of your deliverability during the promotional period. You want to keep monitoring and tracking your ad results daily and increase the spend on profitable campaigns by like 20% every 48 hours, really to give yourself the best chance of maximizing your revenue results. I would also highly, highly recommend getting on Instagram and Facebook Live and sharing stories and reels to your followers a few times during the promotional period, partly because these content formats are getting the most organic reach right now. But additionally, if you make the effort to share this kind of organic content whilst you are running paid ads, as well, you will be rewarded with cheaper ad spend on your paid content at the same time. And the reason for this is essentially because you are feeding the algorithm with more data points that helps the platform to optimize your ads more efficiently, which we all want, right? You can also run Google ads during this kind of promotion. So you can adjust things like titles in your ads, to add in the sale messaging. You can even adjust the product feed a little bit so that those discount prices are clear in there. And, it can be an effective way to just get some more conversions from your Google ads when you have a discount promotion to take advantage of. All right. So that's quite a lot in a fairly short space of time. I hope that you have found that helpful, and that might give you a little bit of a step-by-step approach to run through your planning and execution for an end of financial year sale. So if you, like I said before, if you do want to get more in-depth help, the step-by-step, the templates, the calculators for planning and monitoring that sort of a promotion, you can go and head to productpreneuracademy.com/short-courses. You can get that. It's called the My Ultimate Product Launch and Promotion Bundle. So that's $197. So you can go and grab that. Or of course, if you're keen for some help with this stuff, please just give us a shout. We offer courses, coaching, and done for you services to help clients learn and implement these things. So if you need that kind of help, just book into you can book in with us for a free strategy session just by heading to productpreneurmarketing.com, and you will easily find the link to book in with us there. But that's what I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I look forward to being with you again on the show next week. Bye for now.